Episode 16 of Neo Reality Collective. Alright, everyone, we got a huge chunk of news coming in today. So, we got Harley Quinn stuff also talked about. So, heading into this, oh, and by the way, my comics came in from Third Eye this week. Shout out to them. So, expect that at the end of this video. So, Harley Quinn, we got its third season coming, but it does seem to be that an animated film has been discussed but isn't planned yet. With DC Universe constantly expanding with both live action and animated content, Deadline asked co-showrunner Patrick Schumacher about the possibility of a film centering on Harley Quinn and her friends. Schumacher confirmed that the idea of a movie was something he and fellow showrunner Justin Harpland discussed with Warner Bros. Animation while they were waiting for news on their season 3 renewal. However, with the third season moving forward, and plans for the film have been placed on the back burner. Right now, we're not planning on it, but it is absolutely something we would be very interested very much in doing down the road. So, yeah, Harley Quinn is going to probably get a movie after the series is over, or when they want to do something major. It would be interesting to see what they could tell with Harley Quinn with a Harley Quinn movie. I'm not 100% certain what it could be, but yeah, I'm all for it. The show's pretty good, and if we get the same cast members with just a bigger budget, I'll be all for it. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, Harley Quinn's show may explore why Commissioner Gordon is such a f up and whatnot, and yeah, so there's apparently going to be something probably happening around the road down the road. So Deadline brought up Gordon's low approval rating in Gotham with Schumacher, alluding to the Los Angeles Police Department Mayor Eric Garcie's town hall held over Zoom for local citizens. And says, "Yeah, you've probably seen this. It's waved around Twitter for sure. The Zoom that the LAPD and the mayor put out for a short town hall, essentially for Los Angeles." To come together and voice the criticisms of the LAPD in the mayor's office. He told, "I tweet out, and this was Jane. I would love to open season 3 on an actual Zoom where the JCPD is being berated by the citizens of Gotham for their ineptitude." He also claimed that he wanted the GCPD and Gordon to face Gotham citizens to address the reality of the department's failures, and as Gordon questions his capabilities not to effectively police Gotham because the system is so up. Gotham's a terrible place to live. I mean, if you think of all the cities in the comic book lore, or can you think of a worse major city to live in than Gotham? Like, it's just constantly under attack. And why does Metropolis look like this utopia when Gotham looks like a total cesspool? So being able to dig into that and have Gordon go on a journey within the season would be very fun. This potential angle comes after Harpland recently suggested making Poison Ivy a central character in season 3. I'll cut to that. So, yeah, I want to say something, but at the same time, given the current status of the world regarding the police, I don't feel like that should be a thing. But before we get into that, uh, there was talk about from Deadline as well when asked about late 2021 release, and this is what the showrunner said. That would be, I think, an optimistic guess. I don't know if they announced the episode order number yet, but let's just say we're not doing 2 seasons back to back like we did. That may give us some relief in the sense that it's not as big as the production load. So I would say optimistically, we're probably looking at the end of 2021. When asked if the virus will have any effect on the production of the show, honestly, I think it's just depends on how long we're in this situation. I think if it does affect us, it's going to happen much later in the game because we have the luxury on our schedule writing quite a few episodes before we go into production. I would say that 8% of the episodes in theory, if we maintain our schedule, will have been written by the time we start recording. But I think at this point, hopefully things are a little bit better, more lax in terms of our ability to move around. So we could probably get it in 2021, but that's an optimistic guess. But there's still that nudge of the virus is still around a lot more in 2021. We're probably all screwed anyway. So, yeah. And another piece of news is that Harley Quinn's third season will shift the focus to Poison Ivy's point of view. So, the showrunners opened up more about it. Deadline asked Harplin if they would examine Poison Ivy's origins in addition to Commissioner Gordon's low approval ratings. He replied, "Definitely. We spent 2 years digging into Harley, and Ivy was her own character, but her stories were told mostly in relation to Harley. So I think in this third season, it'd be interesting to flip that and dig deeper into Ivy and her life and tell some stories through her point of view. So we're excited to be able to do that because it feels completely new, somewhere that to go that we haven't gone." That isn't going to make the audience feel like we have saw 2 seasons of this. WTF is this? So yeah, Harley Quinn's probably gonna have Poison Ivy maybe one of the central characters involved in this. In fact, in a much bigger role. I mean, like it would probably be more interesting than what they're doing in DC Comics, making her Queen Ivy, and fall for a stupid misunderstanding and thinking Harley Quinn burned her Eden to the ground because that actually happened. So yeah, all that's the Harley Quinn news. So I'm excited for season 3. I do hope we get a movie later down the road when production's not as hectic. And also, I am excited to see Ivy's point of view and whatnot, and more focused episodes on her. I think they also did mention a while back that they also want to focus on Ivy's self confidence kind of issue she has. So, so it is kind of interesting to see how that how that's gonna go. But I'm currently excited for this. So the XFL. Oh god, that event just can't die, can it? It can't die when the XFL is brought up. Dead in 2001, dead this year because of the COVID virus, and Vince just gave up. And then there's the legal lawsuit. Then The Rock buys XFL, and it's like, oh god, and now it's scheduled for 2022. It's like, just let it die, man. It's time to throw in the towel. It's time to throw in the towel. I'll give you the towel if you need it. But it's just, they revealed a very dramatic teaser when the next season of the Football League will resume, which is spring 2022. And The Rock's now the owner of the promotion, so I'm curious to know if Vince will try to disown him after that. But yeah, it's like, the pro, like, yeah. So how the league filed for bankruptcy a month after the event, and then days after suspending operations this year, and it's like, oh god, this isn't gonna work. This whole thing is cursed. Give up, man. Just give up. It's just insane that they're trying to keep this thing going, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you trying to keep this thing going? It's just I don't think it's the right time now, but yeah, it's just, man, it's just crazy. Like, how many times is this thing gonna die and then resurrect and then die and resurrect? Who knows? I'm hoping that this is it. If this fails a third time's the charm, hopefully. But if this fails, we should just call it quits. So yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Star Benedict Cumberbatch has revealed when the next Sorcerer Supreme outing will start filming. He gave an interview that told Watch Time, "I'm in pre-production with the second Strange film, which is very exciting. We will start filming in late October or early November. Original plans saw the movie aiming for a June start date. Since then, both films' start and release dates have been delayed to accommodate the ongoing pandemic. No concrete plot details for Multiverse of Madness have been revealed. However, rumors suggest that Wiccan and Speed, the superhero offspring of Wanda Maximoff, will play a major role in the film. Fellow Young Avengers America Chavez is also rumored to play a role in the Multiverse of Madness. So it's going to be directed by Sam Raimi and will also star the Scarlet Witch, giving everyone the dream fight of the dream awesomeness that of the movie, but in the movie with Doctor Strange. So it's gonna be fun what they do with that. Also, I do 100% believe that this whole Multiverse of Madness is the key component needed to build up for their next big event in the MCU saga post Infinity. And also, I do believe that Wanda Maximoff is the cause of all of this. So we can just easily say right before the show airs that this is all her fault. Gotcha. So looking forward to the filming projects. Let's hope that everyone's safe. Uh, so apparently there was a new report going on regarding the NXT brand. New NXT show being discussed. Per Fightful Select, an idea originally dubbed NXT Underground was pitched a while ago. This was well before Raw Underground. The two are not related despite the similarities in the name. It was noted that it was floated around last year, but not everyone was on board with it, and there was even a pilot for it shot in the summer of 2019 at the Performance Center. Most recently, some of the talent that hasn't been used much, as well as New Evolve sites, were planning to be involved. It's not known how exactly the virus outbreak had affected those plans, and it was seen the idea would be presented as a product in its own right rather than being a segment on regular NXT episodes. Ryan Katz, who is a creative producer in NXT, is credited for having the idea for the project, which means Vince will bastardize it because reasons. I heard this and I was thinking, oh, fuck you, Vince. Because when I heard this, I just had this feeling, oh, now I know where this is going. AEW got the show coming soon. Got another second show program that's not AEW Dark coming to the TNT lineup sometime this year, late next year, early this next year or some point. But it is in development. They confirmed. If NXT Underground is going to happen, I am confident, in a pessimistic sense, that they're going to wait until AEW announces their second show's air date, and then they'll come out with NXT Underground and air it on the same night, and then everyone will be like, okay, Vince, you have to have AEW in your head. There is no cosmic way you could plan this months in advance and then slap the release date right next to the AEW event. Oh, and they will probably do it 2 weeks in advance so they can cripple it. Because, that's worked so far throughout this Wednesday Night War crap. So, Jon Moxley says that he wants to be wrestling for a long time. He said this in an interview. I like to wrestle until I am in my 50s, but it can end at any time. I don't want to spend 9 months filming a movie when I could have been having matches. I'm going to do as much wrestling as possible as I can while I have that window of time. Acting could be a thing for later. So, yeah, Moxley wants to wrestle when he's in his 50s, so he essentially wants to be the Terry Funk of the modern era. I'm cool with that. Because just think of it. Imagine if Moxley is doing all the Terry Funk insanity in his 50s. Like, I'm surprised Terry Funk survived to his 70s, considering that a lot of wrestlers don't make it past 60 these days from the old days, and Terry Funk is from those eras, and yet he's made it to his 70s, and let's see where he's currently at. Let's see, he's currently up to 76. And you want to know the strangest part? He keeps doing one-night stand matches. Like, his last match was 2017, so he was 73 or 4 at the time, so he's the oldest wrestler in existence, probably. But, yeah, Jon Moxley, I wouldn't be surprised if Jon Moxley said, oh, I can do this match. But it's just insane, really insane that he wants to break it to that point. And considering that Jon Moxley likes to do the insane hardcore wrestling at times, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to knock a couple of years out. Let's hope not, though. Arn Anderson files to trademark the Four Horsemen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to piss Vince off. So he's filed trademark of it on September 27th. And considering Arn Anderson was part of the group, he might have more of a case than Cody did. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's going to fight this in court. But yeah, I really do want to see the AEW have a run with the Four Horsemen name. Though, honestly, I kept saying that maybe they shouldn't call themselves the Four Horsemen, so they differentiate from WCW and call themselves the Dark Horses, because that sounds more ominous. Especially since Cody came back with jet black hair. It'd be kind of cool, but I get why. But yeah, they want to trademark. Arn Anderson wants to take the name because essentially it was his, Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, and J.J. Dillon's name, not the WWE. They never had a Four Horsemen in their company. Like, yeah, they had the wrestlers of the group, but they never had the group. Like they had the talent of the group, but they didn't have the group of the Four Horsemen. Like the closest they did was Evolution, and Evolution was described to be more of a modern take of it. Why can't they do it with this? So, Kima, as I'm pretty sure I pronounced that name wrong, had tragically suffered a head was in a tragic accident while riding his bike, and he took to social media to reveal that he suffered a head injury, facial contusion, nasal fracture, left wrist joint contusion, right hand contusion, neck contusion, lumbar contusion from the accident. He also posted off a picture showing off all the injuries of his mangled body. And yeah, he's hoping he can make a return by November 3rd. Yeah. He has not competed in AEW since February when the pandemic hit, so he's been wrestling mostly in Japan for OWE. Oh man. Sorry about hearing about that, man. Hope all turns out well, and let's see if you can make a swift recovery and return to the ring and kick ass. Kenny Omega continues to talk about the AEW game in development. He said in an interview, who speaking to GameSpot, the status of the video game that is currently in development. I can't say too much other than I'm working very closely creatively with the team, and every few weeks they have a very exciting new things to show us. I believe that we're on the right track because I think we have a good team backing us with a lot of very, very good hands that are very capable. And when I can move, I certainly will. And I'm really excited to show the first little bit of footage that we have. So it's a little ways away. But we're not going to be competing head-to-head against WWE Battlegrounds anytime soon. But when the game is ready, we will release it. I think it has a very good chance of staying alone. It's probably the best wrestling product as a video game they can probably find on the market. That's the hope anyways. So they haven't announced who the developer is, but damn it, I want to see this game. Like, I want this game to come out eventually, polished and not be a disaster like a certain 2K game that we don't like talking about, because when we talk about it, even though I try to make footage with it, it usually ends in disaster. Woo! So yeah, best recommended that we wait and take their time, especially since they trademark GM mode, which means GM mode's coming. Hoping they make a prototype version for mobile devices. SmackDown on Fox is being preempted this month. So October 23rd SmackDown is scheduled to preempt it due to the Game 3 of the MLB World Series. It will likely air on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports released the October schedule, and SmackDown will be preempted on the 23rd due to Game 3. It also indicates that the 16th episode could be as well for Game 5 if necessary. They were preempted once back in 2019 on October 25th due to the major MLB. The episode aired on FS1, which meant it was live for both coasts. There was also a replay at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox Sports 1 that night. But yeah, that viewership tanked. So they're probably going to be tanked again. So yeah. Bad. So there's now a possible sign that NXT is debuting in the Thunderdome with TakeOver 31. I'm a little surprised by this. It was said that they had discussed potentially holding the TakeOver in the Amway Center, the Thunderdome location. But I'm thinking to myself, yeah, considering what happened, I'm surprised they would do that because given the situation with the Full Sail University place having a contract with NXT till like next year, but they want to say they've been saying it's going to be a game-changing event. It will change the world, and we all know who likes to change the world, but it's not NXT these days. So I'm like, they're awesome. I'm still saying that, but yeah, they kind of lost a lot of luster, especially with this Rush build up, in my opinion. NXT NWA owner Billy Corgan took a social media to announce plans are to bring back the NWA Power Program. Woo! 1 year ago, we shot our first episode of NWA Power. Suffice to say, it's been a crazy ride ever since. From trending #1 worldwide on our debut to successful pay-per-views to having stopped many plans, including the Crockett Cup due to the plague, to Rosa appearing with the NWA Women's Championship on All Elite Wrestling, to now adding our voice to the collective that is Primetime Live on the United Wrestling Network, I can only say to our great fans, hang in there. We are currently talking about bringing Power back very soon, even if it means we can't have fans in the stands because we just want to get back to work. But it's nice to see our friends and former champion Tim Storm there. If anyone can lend us a hand, it's a man and woman like him, who gives it all, and she's got even when the chips are down. That sounds more grim than I mean it, because yeah, still here, still kicking, right, and getting ready to get ready to rock. So the last set of tapings was on the 26th of 2020, with the last episode airing on May 12th. Since then, after the vice president resigned due to allegations that came out against him, several stars departed, such as Eddie Kingston and Ricky Stark. Ricky Stark and Eddie Kingston then moved to AEW. And like I mentioned, Thunder Rosa has been has been on AEW programming while representing the company. And Nick Aldis noted that the agreement between NWA and Rosa for Rosa's appearances, as well knowing that he is open to a rubber match with Cody Rhodes for the NWA Championship. So awesome, NWA Power! They're vowing to return it. I'm excited for it. A lot of people praise the show. Oh, but now it's like if NXT was to theoretically move to Tuesday, then they would be competing with both NWA Power and Impact Wrestling, which means they're royally fucked. But still, NWA, welcome back. I'm looking forward to it. Oh god, this part. So, my continuing struggle with WWE and the wondering of what the hell is Vince's problem with Rusev comes to a head once more as he reveals in an interview on the AEW Unrestricted Progress, where he discussed his time at WWE, addressing the reports and everything. He mentions, so remember that storyline where Rusev was being cheated on by Lana with Bobby Lashley, which ended in divorce because they realized Rusev's gone, so we can't humiliate him more? So they revealed this storyline that his character was revealed to be a sex addict. It was gonna be much worse. So he had to put his foot down for this. So Vince McMahon originally wanted to have Rusev's character Miro have Rusev's character to have erectile dysfunction. And Rusev admits there was absolutely no coming back if they did that, and they were trying to kill him. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna find the best video I made. I used audio from Devil Armis's video and essentially just used that video and did a picture with Vince that best describes what I was thinking when I heard some stories that involve Vince's moral insanity. But let me get the video and whatnot. Be forewarned, it can be quite loud depending. Okay. Marks, get set. You crazy insult man! You humanity! Yeah, that sounds about right. Vince, what is wrong with you, man? No, generally, what is wrong with you? Like, really? All because Rusev wanted to be organically over? He wanted to prove himself to you? You respond with hatred and over dramatic attitudes? I mean, You were trying to go with erectile dysfunction for Rusev's character on TV because you are that bitter that he got over with Rusev Day. Rusev even admitted he didn't think that was going to get over, but it did. It was supposed to be said once, and that was it. But then it got over, and people were cheering, cheer, 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 Rusev Day, Rusev Day. And now we're chanting Miro Day, Miro Day, and going on his Twitch and everything. But Vince is saying we're the ones mocking him, even though Vince has tried to tell him that he can't wrestle Kurt Angle because he'll kill him, because he never gave elaborations on that. This is a crazy man, and he's trying to commit crimes against the wrestling industry at this point. So, yeah, Triple H was given an interview, and asked about NXT possibly moving to a different night, and yeah, he doesn't want to move it, and I'm just like, he said all this stuff about it, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is Triple H. Like this video and comment, if you will, with a fake account to admit that yes, you have a gun pointed to your head because bullshit, 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 bullshit. Because let's be honest, competing with AEW was the dumbest idea you can go with. Like, as much as people say AEW was on Wednesday night first, okay, you're right. It was on the WWE Network, and then they got moved just right after AEW announced Dynamite. So, what's the issue here? Vince clearly, the US, it was even confirmed, multiple sources saying this, from Wrestle Talk, from yada yada yada, saying that yes, Vince made the call because he wanted to cripple AEW, and the USA Network was enabling it by supporting it. So why can't we call for this to, be moved to a different night? Because we don't want to see NXT get destroyed when you have Vince McMahon digging his horrible hands and creative ideas onto the brand. Like, I already mentioned how I have my issues with the 60-minute Fatal 4-Way match, how it should have been saved for this upcoming takeover, instead of, hey, let's rush it for a week because we need a cheap rating pop. We gotta get that pop in. So, yeah. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are set to be the top faces of the NXT brand, while Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong are certainly set to be heels. So it looks like this is the end of the Undisputed Era. Let's have a moment of silence for this group. Okay, I'm gonna wonder whose idea was that. If it says Triple H, then I'm currently gonna be crying. I will cry myself to sleep. If it's Vince, then I'll just say, well, it's Vince. What do you expect? So yeah, they want to push Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Like, Kyle O'Reilly, he's fun because he's very memeable and hardworking. Adam Cole is Adam Cole. Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, okay. But yeah, I was like, why can't you have they be a complete cohesive face faction? Especially have them appear on Raw and take on Retribution. What? We need more drama for a ratings pop? Gotcha. So, yeah, that happened. And people are kind of upset about this a little bit because, once again, this is a case of NXT is affected by the AEW machine and, well, Vince McMahon's ego not wanting to allow it to exist. So, tragic. But I'm hoping Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly can make it big on NXT, though sadly it's going to come at the cost of Undisputed Era's faces, but yeah. So, AEW Dynamite and NXT's viewership came in this week. AEW scored a 3.7 rise with 866,000 viewers, while NXT garnered a 5% increase to 732,000, and according to the Show Buzz Daily. So overall, it scored a record. So so we're getting good viewership on this. I do still recommend that they should probably move to different nights so we can get the full potential to be fully realized. These of the NXT and the AEW brands. Tragically, Vince will probably never do that because he needs to cripple everything. But the 2019 total actually got to 10 million views over 13 episodes. That's honestly impressive. Anyways, Batista goes on to say that he said no to updating his theme song and everything. So he said this. Batista responded to a fan who said his animal theme was his best theme from his WWE career. He noted that when he returned, he was RZA was going to add some lyrics to his theme to give it an updated feel. WWE said no, and Animal noted that this was just enough frustration he had with his 2014 run. And here's some cool background for you. My homie RZA from Wu-Tang Clan was going to add some lyrics to my music to give it an updated feel when I went back in 2014 for free. And WWE said, no! Face screaming and fear emoji. Just another one of my frustrations with the 2014 so that of a return. Face palm emoji. CM Punk commented on this, saying this in a tweet. LOL, sounds about right. So, yeah, Batista and Punk are getting along again, even though Punk probably does blame Batista for a lot of things. I'm a little amazed by that. But, so, yeah, big update with AEW and Warner Media and the ultimate rise of the DC comic universe. So when Warner Media executive Kevin Riley departed the company in August, it raised some questions about the future of AEW because Riley is the guy who made a deal with AEW president Tony Khan to bring Dynamite to TNT. However, it looks like AEW is perfectly safe and beloved by Warner Media, so much so that they might even be looking into a DC Comics crossover. Woo! In an article on Hollywood Dirt Sheet Variety, Warner Media executive Brett Witz, the general manager of TNT, TBS, and truTV, complimented AEW's perseverance during the pandemic, indicating the network continues to have faith in them. I think where the rubber really met the road was during when the COVID hit and watching Tony really pivot and grow. And he was able to keep these storylines going and put so many great things together even through a global pandemic. That tells you everything you need to know about the DNA of that brand and that guy as a producer. And then they continue saying, we have the opportunity to use all faces of Warner Media in a way most places can't. We got a comic book company, we got video game companies, we got merchandising people, we've got people who make animation for television, we even got reality television producers. It's all in the house. So we have the real opportunity to spread this IP and grow it across Warner Media. So, oh man. AEW and DC Comics, like they have done some artwork together, but that's about it. So I'm all for it. I would love to see some AEW comics, especially since WWE has their own comics going on with Boom Studios, I believe. But speaking of the comic books industry, there is an update regarding Diamond Comics market share given the impact of DC Comics' departure. Marvel now has a 60% stake with the Diamond Comics market share distribution, with Image at a 10%. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what that ultimately means, but yeah, given how Marvel is kind of a big company and Image is the second largest, it makes sense. But DC Comics is now at 1.01, while Marvel's is at 63, and Image Comics is 10.66. So it does make sense to me that Image Marvel would be at the top, given how Image was considered the big three, so to speak, at one point, but then they lost power and everything. But yeah. Oh, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga pre-orders, including exclusive steelbook, set to release in 2021, announced during the Gamescom Opening Night Live 2020, and it's up for pre-order now with a deluxe edition added in addition to the standard version. Because the pre-order is offering this exclusive steelbook case on Best Buy with all console pre-orders to the game. The silver hardcover case portrays Han Solo encased in carbonite, referencing the event of Empire Strikes Back in Return of the Jedi. Hey, and it's available for multiple versions. The only difference being that the Nintendo case has a thinner border. So, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to get that game yet. I have played the original 2 Lego Star Wars games, but I also don't really like the way the sequel trilogy went, because then I'll be depressed. but maybe we'll see. Dead by Daylight cross progression. It's closer than ever to launching. Yay! Dead by Daylight. I forgot what that even was. So, developer behavior interactive. That's an actual name. They have not given a release date, but it is closer to ever than launching. And they had said in a statement, updated blog post, the other important feature we've been working on for the past month is cross progression. In the past couple of months, we've been continuing developing the cross progression feature for Steam and Stadia. We are working hard on the final details, and we are closer than ever to making it available for those two platforms. Players can transfer their data between Stadia and Steam through the new website behavior developed specifically for that feature. Everything from character progress to purchase or unlock add-on content will carry over between the two platforms. Woo! So that's cool. That's actually kind of cool. Allows people to now start back and having to pay for everything again thanks to microtransactions. Netflix's Cobra Kai leads Nielsen streaming top 10. Okay, so this is something that annoyed me. I don't watch Cobra Kai, but I will just say this. So Nielsen does have a rating system for streaming. So why doesn't Nielsen just have an overall service where it... Because I always say AEW and WWE, NXT have a much bigger rating number, a much higher viewership number, because, well, how do I say this? It's not up to date, so to speak, with TV and whatnot, but Nielsen does have a streaming rating system, so why not just make an overall system that tracks both streaming, DVR, and the overall TV viewership, and we can get a much bigger number, because I refuse to believe that the two best products in America right now are not getting the numbers that are Raw and SmackDown. And yes, I know Raw and SmackDown are the older products and therefore have a nostalgic factor to it. So they have been around for a lot longer, but at the same time, you gotta contend that this is the age of the streaming service. So while I do know that Raw and SmackDown would probably have a much bigger number, Raw, NXT and AEW would also have a much bigger number. While not bigger than Raw and SmackDown, it would still be a higher number than the being near the million range. So yeah, I don't watch Cobra Kai, so I not really got anything on that. But oh man, so Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has announced the newest character, Minecraft Steve. Much to the disappointment and anger of so many people. Like, yeah, I woke up today seeing this and everyone was just freaking out over this. Like, everyone wanted Sora, Master Chief, and whatnot. All the deals with characters and whatnot. Like, Twitter just went crazy over this issue. So, yeah, like, everyone was saying Tetris has a chance right now. So, I don't play Smash Ultimate because I don't own a Nintendo Switch. But, yeah, the news about Minecraft's hero coming to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate really broke Twitter. I am freaking amazed. Oh, also, Halo's Master Chief Collection is adding an unreleased Halo Reach helmet and armor piece in Season 4. So that was pretty interesting to hear that. So they're adding a special armor that's never been used in the original Halo game when it first came out. So what's coming, it was used in promotional materials for Halo Reach's Defined Map Pack DLC, but the developer had to cut it due to time and resource constraints. And it's also very unique because it has as for AKIS, we don't know much about what it means, but 343 said we'll share more details in a deeper dive later on. So yeah, they're adding an armor piece and a helmet to Halo Reach's stuff, so therefore adding more value to it. Because like, here's the thing, I was always curious, like, should they bring, since Master Chief Collection is put in a much different position than the original Halo games, I felt, hey, maybe they should start doing start publishing publishing content from the game, like the original Mombasa level that we were supposed to get. Like, the feature is still technically existing, just not as used. Or yeah, they could like make a section called Halo The Lost Tales, or Halo The Lost Adventures, or Halo The Lost Missions. Clone Wars, yeah. Like, they can say it's not in canon and therefore add new Halo tales to it that were cut from the games. It would be interesting. I really feel like they could do that. World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion delayed to later this year. It was put out in a statement on the Warcraft official Twitter that over the past several months of testing, we made significant progress iterating on and polishing the core features of the gameplay of Shadowlands. We're at a point where the zone, the campaign, the level of questing experience, and the story we have to tell are essentially ready to share. However, the team behind it has been listening to feedback and requires more time to polish, balance, and iterate on interlocking pieces, especially ones related to the end game. We're in the end game now. Height also announced that Shadowlands pre-patch will be coming October 13th, which lays the groundwork for the expansion. Includes the revamped character leveling, new player experiences on Exile's Reach, and a host of new character customization options. So it will introduce 4 new zones and everything. So it is set to launch later this year. I'm surprised it wasn't going to be next year because we're almost near the end of this year. But yeah, it hasn't given an official date. It was set to launch on October 27th, and there's no date for it now, but it is set to launch this year. Sucks that a lot of people don't get to play it now, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Delays happen, especially when you want to make it better as much as close as great you can make it. So, Xbox Series X game developer on what it means for open worlds. So they said the Falconeer is set to be an Xbox Series X launch game, and its developer is happy to share the ways the new console will help bring his vision to life. So the creator spoke to Xbox Wire about what bringing this game to the Series X meant for his development and what excites him about the most. This is said what he said. In most video games, things just stop being alive at a certain distance from the player. If they're not on screen, they just cease to exist in the simulation, and some simplified simulation would take over. When you wanted a more complex simulation, you would have to spend so much of your time optimizing the simulation just to make it perform. I think that's something the new generation offers: more complex enemies and ecology field with creatures and enemies all exhibiting more interesting behaviors. The big advantage I think that will be in open world games where we can stop using smoke and mirrors creating an illusion for players and focus on bringing more simulated worlds. So I'm excited to see what open world stuff can bring to the table for the Xbox and PS5. Now, we need to hope that Cyberpunk 2077 is much more better and more crazier than the new consoles. Yeah, that's the big game I'm also looking forward to. Also, let's see, also what was spotted on Amazon is an Xbox Series X media remote. So that's pretty interesting. It looks like it was spotted on the UK Amazon site and features, which includes is set to have a rumored release date on November 15th. So we'll have to see where that goes. Don't know if that's going to be 100% accurate, but we'll see. Fall Guys is adding nameplates and titles to Season 2 because, of course, it is. I'll play Fall Guys, so I have no say in the matter. But the Black Panther series of comics, questions arise about the fate of the final issues of Black Panther, and after the events that when the COVID virus happened, the last one being Black Panther number 22. So it was announced that the publisher has released a schedule for its titles through the end of 2020, and Black Panther 23 to 25 is not in the solicitations. So yeah, they have no release date yet, but it is going to be interesting where they take this, especially given that the Black Panther series is now having a sort of a shot in the arm now because after what happened with Chadwick Boseman tragically. So it's like, do they want to cancel the show books now, or just make another, get another writer for it, because the rebranding process is annoying as all hell. So Black Panther apparently ends on issue 25, no release date given, but there is one more piece of news. Jamie Foxx is reportedly coming to Spider-Man 3 for the MCU. Now, who is Jamie Foxx, for those who haven't heard of him? And I did not know his character, what he did, until I looked at it. He played Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, Jamie Foxx is talking about reprising his role as Electro in the Tom Holland Spider-Man 3. So, yeah. I heard this, And I was shocked because I thought I didn't see that coming because, well, I mean, J. Jonah Jameson's character came back, actor, the J.K. Simmons came back to play the character, so now it's like, hey, let's get the whole cast back together from the Spider-Man trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man duology. Yeah, but I keep thinking, like, is this going to like some people speculate it like is this going to be part of like connecting some of the Amazing Spider-Man stuff into the new MCU Spider-Man, or is this part of the aftermath of Multiverse of Madness, where they're going to do their own Into the Spider-Verse live action version? If so, then we need Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to team up with Tom Holland Spider-Man, and then we can see the three original Spider-Man of film kick ass and take names. Oh, and also someone get an actor to play Miles Morales because they have established that he does exist in the MCU with the first Spider-Man movie for the MCU. Yeah, the fact that I have to keep saying that is confusing as all hell. So, it's been pushed back to November 5th due to the pandemic, but filming is now set to begin in Atlanta this upcoming fall. This later this fall. So, woohoo! Spider-Man is, well, yeah, I do not know who the central villain is. Like, I keep hearing rumors that it's going to have Kevin the Hunter character, Venom, Morbius, who's in his own film that has, you know, the Vulture. Apparently, the actor who plays him, Michael Keaton, is in the movie Morbius, but they haven't established if this is the same guy from, you know, the MCU Spider Verse. It's just insane, but it does look like Electro might be the villain for Spider-Man 3, but at the same time, it's like, it seems like they're trying to be Spider-Man 2 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, where they have multiple villains show up, but they say, oh, well, this will make more sense because we had multiple movies setting them up, even though that doesn't work because there's been no indication this is set in the same universe as the Spider-Man movies of the MCU, and there has been no further indication of, well, how this would actually work, especially since you have Venom and Carnage. Yeah. This is probably in relation to that new deal Sony got to make with Disney over the Spider-Man rights. Okay, that's it for all the piece of news. But it's not the end. Like I said, we're getting comics. Yeah. So let's dig right into my newest collection. First and foremost, with a shocker. Batman 3 Jokers, Barbara Gordon variant of Batgirl, issue 2, or book 2 as it's also called. And I plan to cover this week, hopefully this weekend, if anything comes up. But yeah, beautiful artwork by Jason Fabok. Jeff Johns' latest tale in the DC universe. And it was originally going to be his swan song for the most part, but now it looks like he's coming back for the death metal event as part of a Secret Origin tie-in. Next in conveniently is Multiverses End Death Metal. Yeah, it focuses on a bunch of other characters, and we even get the Stan Lee version of Wonder Woman on here, so that's pretty cool. Also Captain Carrot, so that's a thing. So yeah, it's part of the big battle between Perpetua and the forces of the multiverse colliding. So all hell is broken loose there. Batman, the Joker War Zone, where we see Cassandra Cain's Batgirl, spoiler, her and Clown Hunter. We also get a Poison Ivy story, which further integrates her back in the DC universe that I mentioned earlier, that turns her back into a villain as Queen Ivy over a stupid misunderstanding because, you know, she's stupid, right, DC? I know this is probably a leftover Dan DiDio plot he wanted to do, and they can't really change that particular stuff, but 5G was stopped. Giant Size X-Men and tribute to Wynn and Cockrum. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is part of the Dawn of X saga. That's one of the reasons I bought it. I tried to get the more wraparound variant they have, but that was more expensive tragically at Third Eye Comics. So I'm cool with it as long as it's a good story. The latest issue of Wonder Woman 763, the Mike Hullison variant. Cool artwork, beautiful, 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 beautiful. The continuing tale of her and Maxwell Lord's adventure. We got the soon-to-be ending Hellblazer John Constantine Sandman Universe book, currently on his 10th issue. He's scheduled to end with his 12th issue due to the cancellation. So, tragic, tragic, tragic. We also, as part of my idealization of trying to get some of the Alex Ross timeless books, I went and bought myself the Strange Academy chapters, with issue 3 being the Alex Ross timeless variant. So yeah, Doctor Strange, everyone. I'm hoping to get the 4th one that has the Scarlet Witch. So look forward to that. We also got The Department of Truth, a conspiracy-based noir or horror thriller. I read this. It's insane. Let's go with that. It's insane. I also got this variant. Also, I do love the back cover because Image does a wraparound essentially. We also got 3 more comic books in this collection. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra. I'm pretty sure I butchered her name wrong. Fortune and Fate, The Deal, issue 4. Good cover, good cover. And if you've seen my video earlier, I got the X Factor, part 2 of 22 of the X of 10 of Swords event. Oh, you're dealing with the X Factor. Okay, I have to stop that. And last but not least, we got J. Michael Straczynski's AWA Upshot variant. AWA Upshot, The Resistance 6 of 6. Been enjoying this series, hoping to make a full-fledged video about it. Looking forward to finishing this series because I need to catch up to everything, but I will be making a massive video talking about issues 2 through 6, so look forward to that. Those are all the... Oh! There is one more comic I bought. The Batman and Flash Deluxe Edition version of The Button. Part of the Road to Doomsday Clock and part of my new collection mission of collecting all the Rebirth titles of the Deluxe Edition. And I even got the Trinity Volume 1 on book. So that's about it for all the comics this week. Looking forward to seeing you all again. This was Neo Reality Collective and Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Do more, and I'll see you all next time.